Hello everybody. I'm doing a quick video here on a pedal I just put together last night actually. This is my version of a Systech Overdrive. In the 70s, Systech made these really cool overdrive pedals that had a extremely wide sweep on their EQ section, so they almost sounded like a wah pedal when you turn the EQ. They never put an expansion or expression pedal jack on there, probably because it wasn't really a thing back then. And even the modern one, there's only one company out there that's really doing that, putting the expression pedal jack on it. So I figure take it a step further and put in the pedal itself into a treadle enclosure. I was able to find actually a really good condition Crybaby wah that wasn't working. So there's something wrong with the actual circuit of the Crybaby, and I'll fix it eventually. But all I wanted was the enclosure, the treadle base itself. So what it cost me to buy that pedal, have it shipped here and all that, was cheaper than buying an unpainted new pedal from like amplified parts that I had to put together. And this gave me, extra parts, things like that. Plus, it's pre-drilled for certain parts. I had to drill a couple additional holes, but not that big of a deal. So the pedal itself, like any Crybaby wah, and it's the model 95, I forget, the GCB-95, whatever. You have your input here, you have your output there, you have power down there. I added an LED there, which you really don't need to have the LED, but I figure why not. Then you have distortion and gain. And the EQ is the treadle pot. Now, it's not perfect. I'm still working out some of the bugs and kinks. This is actually my second video of this. The first video I had to stop because the pedal actually, the treadle pot moved. So that caused some issues. One of the biggest problems, though, is the treadle pot for a Crybaby is fairly robust and stout. It's fully sealed. It's also 100K. The EQ for the original Systech Overdrive is a reverse 5K. So I didn't have a reverse 5K and a long shaft that would fit this. It's something, you're not going to find too easily. If you do, it's going to be a fortune. So I have a standard 5K with a long shaft, and I just reverse the wiring. It works, but I want to try a 10K. The reason being is the 10K is going to allow the sweep to go faster, meaning it doesn't take as much movement. It doesn't take as much of this movement to get the full sweep from top to bottom, which should help with this, because one of the downsides to having a treadle is you don't have the same amount of movement that you would have on a regular standard knob on a pedal. It's limited to the amount of travel that you could have with the treadle base. So the idea is if I get a 10K, even though the treadle movement is going to be the same, the amount of time it takes to go from the most trebly part, we'll call it, to the bassiest part is going to be a shorter distance. So I should be able to clock the gear and that pedal, the pot and the treadle itself, to match that, and I should be able to get a much fuller sweep. Maybe not the full sweep, but probably more than what I have now. And I'll work on that later on during the week. But, I wanted to give you guys a quick demo of what this is doing. And, our clean sound. We're just using a regular, this is my splatter paint guitar that I put together. It's got a set of Kiesel pickups in there. I'll say this pedal seems to like single coils better than a humbucker. Not that it has an issue with the humbucker itself, but you get more tonal range, or I guess you'd say the sweep is more prevalent with the single coil. So, with that being said, let's give it a quick demo of what this is going to sound like. It's actually pretty loud, so be careful. And I'm just rolling the knobs back a little bit there. And another thing you could do is, because the treadle is so tight, I guess you'd say, you could actually use the treadle as your EQ control itself by just leaving it there. So that was me switching over to humbuckers. So. Again, still working out all the bugs, but I figure I'll share that with you, what I'm working on right now. I can't say I'm going to make a bunch of these, but, you know, once I fine-tune everything, find a pot that works, I might offer, I guess, a service. So if you have a wah pedal that you don't like, or you have a busted up treadle and you don't know what to do with it, then I would definitely consider building you a circuit and putting it in there and going from there. So, fun little project, something I put together, over the weekend, essentially. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, have a great day and stay warm. Bye.